It's black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh. 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 It's black and white.
Hello there, my name is Lee, welcome back to another video, and welcome to Timetable Reviews. So this is the series where I showcase timetables in my collection, and welcome to this mini-series showcasing all the timetables that I got at the Rickmansworth bus running day in March 2025. So let's go to the table, and let's see what timetable I've got today. So here's the table, and here's the timetable. So this is the November 2008 Buckinghamshire County Council Chiltern and South Bucks Guide. This is the first guide that Buckinghamshire County Council made in the familiar black style. Or did they? Because this is a slight modified version. I'll get to what in a minute. Firstly, shows about NextBus. Now, those who don't know NextBus, this was a real-time information system, and I believe it's still in use to this day. I'm nearly 10 years old now. As you can see, it shows an Amersham, Cheshire local guide map. Obviously, this is for the Amersham, Cheshire and Beaconsfield area. As you can see, this was produced by Buckinghamshire County Council, who were still based in Aylesbury at the time. Shows all the stuff, which, of course, you've seen this style before. Except we haven't, because this is a different style from the previous ones. So the Chiltern's guide covers the Chiltern's area, and as you can see, it shows all the routes, which I'll go through in this video. And then we've got obviously the map of services. But as you can see, the timetables look completely different to what they usually look at. In the next video, it will look what it would look like for quite a few years. And the first route is Route 2 in Slough. Now, bearing in mind, Burnham is actually in Buckinghamshire, and yes, it sounds complicated as it is, but it is. This was run by First, a half-hourly service throughout the day. There was a couple of night buses, but it was not the best. Saturday service as well, and it had a Sunday service as well. But it was always a split route. And as it returns. Then the 3 and the 8, which were Slough to Wrexham Park Hospital services. These ran every half an hour each. Near enough, I believe. Let's just turn the page around. Yeah, half-hourly service combined every 15 minutes. The 8 ran to Chiltern. The other one went from Dover Road. But I won't bug you mind with Slough service 666 Slough services. We'll be here all day, otherwise. But as you can see, there's quite a few pages because this was a really big service. Next is the other route 3. This was a Cheshire service, but it was run by a different operator. Now, nowadays, the 78-79 is run by Carousel. Carousel did run in Cheshire at the time, but the number 3, now the 78-79, was run by a different operator. And this was the odd one out. This was run by a company called Jason Tours, who were based in Cranford, just outside Heathrow Airport. And as you can see, it was an hourly service. No evening service, no afternoon service. The last bus was 1:45. It literally had, as you can see, 5 trips a day. Jason Tours sadly no longer exist, unfortunately. They ceased quite a few years ago, unfortunately. Then we've got Route 4 again. Now, we've showcased Route 4 in the past. This is the High Wycombe Cheshire service, of course. But there's a problem. 2008, the evening service, which was contracted, had been taken over by another operator. Who is that operator, Lee? Redline Buses. Yep, you can't make this up, can you? Obviously, High Wycombe, obviously you didn't even have Redline back then. But Redline, in true Redline fashion, operated 3 trips a day in the evening on Route 4, which ran a different way, so really it should have been a 4A, but oh well. Penn Street, Wismore Hill it served, which normally during the rest of the day was on the Cheshire local services. And it had a return, and it also had a short running to Azemere. And a Sunday service as well, which was run by Carousel. Then Route 40, another one of these Jason Tours routes. This runs from Hedgley to Langley via Slough. 2 hourly service on that. Jason Tours didn't really do much. As I said, they were based near Heathrow Airport at Cranford. So obviously, it was a bit of a strain because that was their only depot. And Jason Tours didn't operate big vehicles. They only operated minibuses. And then the 45-48. Now, this commenced in 2008 in December. This was from November. It was an hourly service. This replaced the 345 bus, which we've mentioned in the past. However, there was also a couple of trips a day on the 48, which went via Haytermere. The 45 went via Weatherpool Campus, which is Buckinghamshire New University. And then the 4994. Now, these run by Arriva, and these run from Chesham to, and it was the local network. Nowadays, the 149194 run by Carousel Bus. As you can see on a Wednesday, though, they used to go to Tring. Sadly, that recently got withdrawn recently as part of the retendering exercise that happened in the Chesham area. Obviously, back in those until early this year, it was run by Red Rose, and Cheshire Tring was run by Red Eagle on this Wednesday, but that doesn't exist anymore. Then the 52-62, again, the 62 is the old 362 service. But the 52 was a 2 hourly service that ran a little bit further. Went to Hempstead. Yay! It's Route 1. Both of these were run by Arriva, but of course there was no night buses because of course it's Arriva, they don't think. So really, the only route from Chesham to High Wycombe in the evening was Red Line trips. And then the 53. Now, this was run by First Bus at the time. And this ran from Wrexham Court to Bracknell. Now, those who don't know the 53, this is still runs to this day. Back in those, later this route became part of Thames Travel, owned by Go Ahead Group now. But it then later became part of Courtney Buses. Courtney Buses still run this to this day. Well, it's Thames Valley Buses now. Run by the Reading Buses Group. It's gone full circle. Then the 58, Britwell to Uxbridge, which was a half-hourly service. I don't know why you need a half-hourly service on that though. Then Route 59, which was a couple of times a day from Chesham. Then we had a summary timetable. Now, between Cartbridge and Chesham, there was literally like an hourly service. But during the day, Route 59 was the only trips. Now, Jason Tours operated a couple of short journeys to Cartridge. Now, these also went via Blakesy Avenue. Excuse me. On a Saturday, it was 3 trips a day. And it was all 3 in the morning. I don't understand why Arriva were thinking about that. Then the 60, which was another one of those circular routes. This is the Hyde Heath one. Then we had the 63, 68. Now, back in those days, it was run by Maggie. But this has now been taken over by Red Line. Obviously, Red Line been existing for 10 years by then. Yeah, I know, stupid. Then the 74. Now, this gets complicated. First had increased the frequency of their service to hourly, but Arriva was still running every half hour, but the first bus trip left 5 minutes before the Arriva bus. and they were arriving to Slough about 10 minutes before the Arriva bus. So they really were trying to beat Arriva, but of course they did. Arriva pulled out a couple of years ago. And Carousel ran the Sunday service still. Then the 75 main head to Heathrow Airport, half-hourly service on that. Because some of Slough is actually in Buck, so that's why there's a lot of Slough services in this guide, so just a warning. Then the infamous, the route that never dies, Route 305. Yeah, 2 hourly service. Carousel still ran a service though, all the way though this time. Then the 331. Now the 331 is a TfL service. Back then it was run by Central West, which is First Bus nowadays. Nowadays this route is run by Metroline instead. Excuse me, I've got a blocked up nose for some reason at the moment. Then the 335. Now again, this was an interesting service, the 335. The 335 was a First Bus route, 2 hourly service from Slough to Newland Park's campus in Chalfont. The 335 was the First Bus route, but you probably think, knowing it's from Slough, you probably think it's run by Slough Depot. But it wasn't. It was actually run by First London. So you will see London buses, Newsley Marshall Capital Darts in Slough. Even though there is actually a Slough service to London, Route 81 nowadays. Then the 336, which was an hourly service from Amersham to Watford. Basically what Red Rose do nowadays, apart from not to Amersham, really, as far as Chorleywood. 353, which was an hourly service all the way from Hemel Berkhamsted, at the Chiltern Park estate, mind you, all the way to Slough. Basically, the old 353, basically. Albeit not to Windsor. River didn't really want to go to Windsor for some reason. Then the 373, which was at the Town Circulars in Wickham, in Chesham, Stanley, ran usually hourly from Chesham Broadway to Lay Hill, which is now 1. Carousel also ran a 374 to Lord Chough on a couple of times a day. 375 was Beaconsfield. There is no longer a direct bus from Beaconsfield to Chesham anymore, sadly. 379 was Paul's Hill. It was the Sudbury Guide from Amersham. And note that it only shows the Carousel trips. Obviously, there was more trips from Chesham to Amersham with Arriva's route 362. Then the 377 580. Now, the 377 was run by Maggie Travel, while the 580 was a peak hour service run by Carousel Bus. Then the 392, which was a school run by Jason Tours. 459 was an interesting route. It ran from Uxbridge to Langley, 4 times a day, run by Red Line. 581, which was the Beaconsfield or Uxbridge circular service via Denham. 582 was the Saturday early service to Windsor from Denham. Then the 724, the Green Line service, still runs to this day, hourly service all the way from Harlow to Heathrow Airport. As I record this, I can't remember when this is actually going up. This route will have just changed, I believe, so that it's now combined with the 725, a route that previously terminated Rickmansworth, and it ran a Sunday service, albeit every 2 hours. That was just an outcry from when Country Bus and Coach used to run the route back in the 90s. Then the 840, which was an hourly service back then, the Carousel Heathrow service, because obviously it went via Beaconsfield. Then the CC1, which was a Newlands Park campus to Uxbridge Station shuttle bus run by Maggie, term time only bus. Then the CL, which was the campus link route from Highbury bus station to Wandsworth campus and Newland Park campus. Hourly, half-hourly service on that. There is still a campus link, but it's run by Red Line now. Then we got the infamous route that we've mentioned in the past, previous videos ago, and that's the R21 service. Now, back then it was run by Sullivan, but it had severely reduced because it was run by Red Rose Travel. Now, that's right, That's Red Rose Travel. Twice a day, Monday to Friday only, no Saturday or Sunday service. Then we got the first instinct of a route that lasted until 2013, the infamous Tiger Line. Yay! The Tiger Line T1, High Aylesbury to Hemel Hempstead hourly service, and a 2-hourly service to Bovington Market on a Saturday. Tiger Line was ceased in 2013, but their routes were remembered quite fondly in the High Wycombe Cheshire area. And then there was a summer guide for Heathrow to Slough services. Don't know why I was showing it, but it was. But I won't bother you over that because we'll be here all day otherwise. Then we got the train timetable started with Chiltern Main Line. And then the Aylesbury services. And then Metropolitan Line services from Charlton Latimer to Chesham, which was a shuttle service at that time. And then the Great Western Railway services. First Great Western, okay, now we're back in those days. And then a map of the guide of the area. And it also showed this. This is a map of the services you can take of the link services. And then it shows the guide at the back. And with all the operators. At that time, when I just mentioned the Aylesbury services, Aylesford Parkway didn't exist. Well, it did, but it wasn't really ready. But that is the November 2008 Chiltern and South Bucks guide from Buckinghamshire County Council, if as usual. There we go. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Total Reviews. There is only one left, and I can confirm it's another Chiltern South Bucks guide from a year later. But thank you very much for watching this video, Total Reviews. If you do enjoy it, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, goodbye.